As this slider is already implemented using Slick Carousel. So not Slick Carousel. Oh, this is actually Owl-Carousel.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, let me see if I can find something in Vue ecosystem.
Okay.
Which implements Owl-Carousel. Owl-Carousel Vue. So we can see that there's one package,
Sure.
npm package available, and seems like it will work.
Oh,
It
wonderful.
seems like seems like it's something that we can use. So what we are going to do is that let me walk you through how we integrate this kind of module in Vue, in our Vue project or Nuxt project. We already done this once in the last session, but let's do it one more time so that you are more clear about how to do it. So we will take this package, and here we will zoom in a bit so that you can see it properly. Let me know if you can see this.
It's perfect.
So yarn add and then view our carousel. Perfect, it got installed. Now we have to look at the documentation and understand what we have to do in order to make it work in our Nuxt ecosystem. The thing is that the instruction that they have given here, it will actually work by default if you try to use it in a Vue project, not Nuxt project.
Sure, sure.
But in Nuxt, as we have SSR, so server-side rendering, that's why sometimes we face some problem while we try to use this kind of browser-based modules. So
Yes.
this is a slider. It is meant to be work in browser only. It has nothing to do with the server, and there's nothing that we need from this module that are going to be needed in the server side.
Sure.
So in those kind of cases, we normally face a little bit difficulties to integrate this kind of modules in a Nuxt project because of the server-side implementation. But the instructions that are given here, you can easily follow it and use it in a Vue project, in a normal Vue project, if it's not Nuxt. So what we are going to do is that we have a contact page where we have nothing at the moment. So we will take help of this contact page so that we can test this module before we go to our actual template.
Yeah.
So here we have already used Split.js earlier.
Yes.
Which was working good. So localhost 3000 and then /contact. This is our page. Okay. See some kind of error here. Let's get rid of this middleware because I'm not sure if I have done them properly or not. Yeah,
sure.
It came, and as you can see, the slide carousel is working.
Yes.
So what we will do is we will get rid of this because we don't need it anymore. Instead of that, we are going to try to implement this in our project. So we will import. First thing is that we will import the carousel, and then we will register it as a component in our system, like this.
Yes.
So here we have an example how we can use this carousel. So we are just going to dump that in our div like this. And let's see if this works or not. Component. It looks like it's not working.
Okay.
And the reason is the SSR thing.
Sorry.
The reason is the SSR part of the
SSR.
Nuxt.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
SSR part of the Nuxt environment, which is actually conflicting with the code inside this module.
Sure.
So I think that's the reason. If we actually comment out this part, then I hope that we should get back our contact page. Just commented it out. Now we're going to refresh. It got hang.
Yeah.
Refresh one more time. We see document is not defined. This is coming from here. Here. So we have our page back.
Yeah.
So that's the problem. So here, this module is not going to work out. I mean, just out of the box. So we will adjust the the import of this module in our system so that it works. So what we'll do is that in plugins folder, we will create one file called v-Owl-Carousel.js like this. And then we will bring this import, or we can go back here. We will bring this import from here to our plugin.
Yeah.
And then we also have to, as I told you in my last lecture, that
View
we have to import view
from view.
And then in view we have something called component.
Okay.
I have already suggestion for this same, as you can see. So this should be the correct way of using this module in our system. So we are actually registering a global component in our project. So when we are declaring this component in this plugin, then this component is going to be available in all the pages, all the components
Sure.
in our system. This is the way. And it's actually telling me to use a multi-word, multi-word way of writing it, but I don't see any reason of doing it multi-word. So what we are going to do is that we will disable this error message for this line.
Yeah.
So not disable. Let me try. Now the error message is gone. It's just a warning, and this should not affect our code.
Sure.
Now we will go to nuxt.config.js, and here we have already imported Split. We will create another entry of that file and then name it
Carousel.
carousel. I think the spelling is like this. I can catch it. Yeah. C-A-R-O-S-E-L. C-A-R-O-S-E-L. It's a little bit mistake in the spelling, but let's ignore it for now. So as we have told mode client in our plugin, so this plugin will only load on the client side.
Yeah.
There will nothing happen in the server side, and that should theoretically fix our problem. If we used it in a Vue project, we wouldn't have to do this.
Yes.
But in Nuxt, we are doing it in order to make sure that this plugin is only loaded in the client side and
Sure.
never run in the server side. So now we already have the access to this carousel component. We don't have to import it anymore because we have registered it in as a plugin in our system. So we'll get rid of this. And once we go back to our
wow.
we have the carousel running. So this is the way you can actually, figure out how to handle third-party modules in Nuxt.js. Now, let's go back to our index file as we have tested it and it's working. So we will turn our carousel that we have, which is not showing at the moment, into this this third-party carousel. So the carousel part starts from here, as you can see. Carousel ends here. So what we are going to do is we are going to turn it into a component. So you will say like carousel, like this. Okay.
Yeah. Oh,
and then and then we will minimize everything so that the file looks a little bit smaller. And then in component, not computed, components, we register one component called carousel, like this. We'll import it. Import carousel from @/components carousel.p. So we don't have this file at the moment. So in component, we are going to create one file called carousel.view, and we will paste our code here. Not like this. We'll paste our code inside the template, like this. So it's telling that carousel should always be multi-word. So in order to fix that problem, we'll create a script tag and we'll give it a name like carousel component. So multi-word error is gone. So nothing happened so far, and it's normal, no problem. So what we'll do now is that we will find what are the carousel items. What I can see from this structure is that this div is one slide, and then this div is another slide. So we have actually two slides available here, and those slides are like these divs. So if we can wrap these two divs inside the carousel component, then we should theoretically have the carousel appeared in our or shown up in our system. So we'll write carousel as component, and then this is one div, this is another div, like this, do like this. If we go back to our page, we still don't see anything because we have another two divs positioned above it. We will actually get rid of those divs. We'll see later how we can match the styling there.
It's almost shown.
Yeah, it's not showing at the top, and the reason I think is we didn't save this file. As you can see that this actually appeared.
Yes.
at the top we have this, but it's not looking good at the moment.
I reached that stage, but I couldn't fiddle around.
Okay, no problem. Let's see how we can solve this problem. So we will bring back those div and see if we can show this div here or not. If we bring back those div, then it's gone.
Yeah.
The reason is this fade in. So it's actually no, it's actually my server also got stopped. So what we will do is that we will get rid of this part and this too. Not two, let's get rid of one by one, like this. Running. Telling me that my machine is getting out of memory every time I'm trying. Yeah. So what we are going to do is to going to this two. See, that is something which is causing the problem or not.
You see why it took me 48 hours.
Yeah. Okay, so if we get rid of this, let's save it. You were having the same error as
No,
mine?
I didn't. I was struggling 48 hours trying to get this working. I didn't manage. So, there. I managed that. I don't know how, but I could get that yesterday, but I couldn't get the slider working. I used the sleek ones, Vue Sleek or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Let's do one thing. What I can see from here is that you see that owl-carousel,
Yeah.
owl-carousel script. So we are actually doing it twice, you know.
Oh.
So yeah, so we are using the regular implementation of owl-carousel without any framework, and also we are using the Vue implementation of the same. So this shouldn't be like this. So we should actually comment out this line.
Okay.
And we have also a CSS file for our owl-carousel that is also, I think we should get rid of. And this is a animation library, wow.min.js, as you can see. So we'll keep it for now, but if it gives us problem, then we will also disable this one.
Okay.
Okay, so for the moment, we have got rid of owl-carousel and owl-carousel regular implementation. We just kept our Vue module for the owl-carousel. Like that. So now we'll go back to our carousel component and we will enable the carousel again and see what happens. Oh, this. So we have the carousel here. You can see
yes,
both of them, yeah, both of the slides here. but I think they should appear side by side, right?
No, it's
one at a time.
One at a time.
And in the middle.
And auto on the top, and it's full screen autoplay.
Autoplay, yeah, I understand. No problem. So what we are going to do here is that we have position relative here. I think we are not gonna need it, but still let's see if we bring back this div, then what happens. We brought back those div. Again ran out of memory. As soon as I bring those div back, they get out of memory. So okay, so read up this div one more time and run it. Now let's go back to our v-Owl documentation, and there should be some kind of options that we can pass. For example, like this one, autoplay true, nav false, like that. So we will look for this kind of things, and we will adjust our properties. So we have something called items, the number of items you want to see on the screen. So we can use this one in order to show only one of them. So we can say like items and then one. And this. If we go back and run our project, hopefully you will see the page. We ran out of memory again. Problem is we are actually, you see this in the regular implementation of Owl-Carousel, we actually had to use some of the classes from Owl-Carousel documentation.
Right.
You know? So they gave us one CSS file and told us that you should use this class. You should structure your HTML in such a way so that you use these classes.
Yeah.
We will actually get rid of these classes because in our implementation we are not going to need them. So in both the slides we are gonna get rid of them like this. So inner because it will figure out automatically what it's like. And as soon as we have put up that part, I'm running out of memory again and again in this case. There's a fix for this error as well. I will show you. But before that, let's try to fix it from the code. Maximum cost is exceeded. That's the problem. Why is this happening? Because we have Axios. No, we don't have Axios yet. Okay. I think I know the problem. Why this is happening? You see that in our third-party module, this one, we have the component name like this, carousel.
Yeah.
And in our project, we have also created a file with the same name called carousel, and we are calling it carousel. So now we have two kind of items, two totally separate kind of items with same name. I think we should change that so that they don't conflict. So what we will say that carousel comp here, and the name is also carousel comp in this case. And in the index file, we are going to change this carousel comp. Here also carousel comp, and here carousel comp, like this. In that case, this naming should be like carousel comp. This. Okay, so we have done that. We have changed the naming. Now carousel is only the actual carousel, not our page. So what we will do now is that we will rebuild it one more time so that these changes are reflected properly. Okay, let's try to load this page properly, and we see that it's showing one page.
Yeah.
And below that we have this, the bakery.
Yeah.
And I think that this text should have been appeared inside the image.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, so how we can solve this is that, you know, that we have some difference in your earlier HTML structure and current HTML structure. So we should actually adjust a bit of HTML and CSS so that it works as expected. So what we will do is that we will bring back this container and see what happens. Okay, so we have brought back this container, and I think this next button, previous button, should not be there.
Yeah.
And this pagination should not be there as well. And we saw that here we have something called nav false, which if we pass this prop, it should disable those for us. So we just disable them, pass them, and refresh. So we have the next and previous gone, but we still have the pagination available. So in order to get rid of the pagination, we have here like nav false, autoplay false, then rewind mouse drag, touch drag. Dots. So we will say the dots equal to
False.
false, like that. If we go back and refresh, the dots are also gone. So now we will place this text on the image.
Yes.
And how we can do that? We can do that using, this is our div, which is now position relative, and this is the text which is showing inside the
container.
So we just have to position it somehow to the to absolute position.
Yeah.
So maybe we have something called position absolute in your CSS file. I'm not sure. I'm just seeing that if it works or not. Yeah, it actually tried to get up. Maybe it actually animated and then got down. So we are not using Tailwind CSS here, I think. Are we?
No. Bootstrap.
We have installed Tailwind CSS.
We have installed, yes.
Yeah. I think we have installed Tailwind CSS. Yeah. Main.css assets main.css. Yes, we have installed Tailwind CSS. So let's see if we can use Tailwind CSS in this case or not. So we will say something called absolute, then top 0, left 0, like this. As you can see that it actually came back on top of the image. Yeah. So now this container flood, I think this image looks too much big. I mean,
No,
I'm not
that is the correct.
correct. Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
full. It was full screen, but
Oh,
it was fading between the two.
okay.
So autoplay it was, I think, and fade, I think it was.
Okay. So now they're actually going like this. Now we can do some other things as well. We will do that together. But before that, let's make some more adjustment. You know?
Yes.
If you kindly allow me 1 minute, I
No,
would like
carry on,
to
carry
take
on,
a call. Yeah.
carry on.
Sorry for that thing. Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, carry on.
Sorry for the
No, 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 no,
inconvenience.
no, no.
Okay, so what we are going to do is that now we will enable autoplay. So we have something called autoplay. As you can see, we can set it to true or false. So we'll go there and say autoplay equal to true, and then we can set some speed for the autoplay. As you can see, now autoplay is happening. No, I don't think, because we have to give some autoplay speed and something like that. So rewind autoplay speed, this thing we will have to use. So what we will do is that we say autoplay speed equal to number, but number, what kind of number? Should I give it second or millisecond?
Milliseconds. It's normally it's milliseconds, isn't it, for sliders?
Yeah, normally it's like that, but I'm not sure. Let's give it 1000 millisecond to see if it, if it
Yeah.
works or not. Autoplay speed like this, the proper way. If we go back, then every 1 second they should go, but they're not going. Oh, they're going. Yeah, but it's more than 1 second. I think it's taking. No.
Yeah.
So we have to adjust this a bit. For example, if I just give it 100, let's see what happens. Oh, okay. This is the autoplay speed. I mean, the time it should take in between the two slides. It's
Yeah.
not the, now you see how fast it's actually
Yes.
moving. It will move a little bit slower. Like it will take 1 second to move to the next. Right now it's a little bit, it looks a little better. Okay, then if we go and see rewind false, the rewind true, then what will happen that you see, you just notice the, as you can see, it's first going to the left and then it's coming to the right again.
Yes.
We want that it always go from left to right like that. In
Yes.
that case, you will set rewind to true. Equal to true, like this. So now it will rewind itself. Every time we try to well, it didn't do that, but I'm not sure what exactly this rewind should do. As per my understanding, it should have actually start from the from the left side
Yeah.
again. Okay, so go backwards when the boundary has reached. Go backward. This is given. This is what I tried to tell you. That go backwards when the boundary has reached. But it might not do this properly. We can actually set a speed as well, and to set a speed, autoplay timeout. Okay, 5000 autoplay interval timeout. Okay, so this is the autoplay interval timeout. So we can say that your autoplay should be every 3000 seconds, like that. I mean 3000 millisecond time. If we do like this, go back to our slider, then after every 3 seconds it should move. I think it's moving after every 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm counting. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that's the basic idea how you can implement this carousel. Now what I will do is that I will use a for loop in order to show the slides, so that our HTML and this boilerplate looks a lot cleaner. Okay. Okay. So what we are going to do is that we'll say v data here, and we'll say our slides equal to an array, and we will take an object here, and
Yes.
let's see what is the structure of our slides. So we have an image, as you can see. It's actually gave me suggestion how I should do it. So we have carousel 1 and carousel 2, the best bakery, and then we bake with passion.
Yeah.
Each one we bake with. We don't have that here, so you say like we'll turn this title into heading element heading, and then we'll bring the title property here. This title should say we bake with passion. So we bake with passion, like that. And then we have this paragraph, and then at last we have this read more button. So I think we are good to go. And in the first div, we had same text. So we can just copy this title and then paste it here. We should be good to go. Now we will get rid of one of the div, because we don't need them anymore. The one div will be enough. So here in this div, we will run a before, because this div is our individual slide.
Yes.
We'll say item I in items, and then key is I, like that. Save. So in place of this source, we'll say item dot what's the name we have given, image. So item dot image, and then this heading should be item dot heading, where it should be like item dot title, item dot description, yes, item dot URL. I think it's link, not URL, it's link. So if we save it, go back, refresh this page, we should be seeing we did some kind of a property or method items is not defined. Okay, oh, actually we named it slides, but we told it here items. That's the problem. As you can see that now they appeared, and after every 3 seconds they will move. If I just remove my mouse from here, oh no, they're actually stack by stack. Okay, what happened here? Let me see. Carousel items 1. Now we don't have any error. Oh, well, refresh this page one more time. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
We were just away from a refresh. Yeah. So this is how you should implement a carousel. So in Nuxt, actually, you just have to make some tweaks
Yes.
to the integration part of the third-party modules. And if
I
you can do that properly, it should work.
I did struggle. I mean, I gave it a good go. I tried this morning to see if I could,
Okay.
but then it didn't. So, no, I appreciate greatly.
Thank you so much. No problem. It's perfect. I mean, I'm very happy that it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay. We'll
Okay.
edit. There's not much more there, is there?
No, it's, I think for the carousel part, that's all. And now you can design it as you wish. I mean, these are your canvas from this div until this div.
If you go to your Fiverr,
yeah,
and Fiverr dashboard, and I sent you a link.
a link. You sent me a link.
Vuex.
Vuex, yes. You sent me a link. Vuex.
Can you do that
Vuex.
next tutorial?
Yeah, of course, no problem.
Because I thought
this is also a slider.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 If you want, we can do it tomorrow.
Okay, that's what time?
Same time.
Okay.
Around same time, or maybe 30 minutes earlier.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
That would be great.
Yeah. No problem. So
I'll practice this today, and
tomorrow we'll meet
before
again.
you go,
yeah,
I was speaking to somebody, and if you look in the left-hand side, the the bar on the left-hand side, and if you go to Nuxt folder right on top,
yeah,
and go to views, app. Now, what he said was this: after below the head, you can put your CSS, and above the body, dash body, you can. I tried that, but it doesn't work.
No. You cannot do that. What happens that when you save a file, or you write yarn dev, this whole folder gets rewritten, gets rebuilt. So your changes will not persist here.
Exactly. I tried it. It sounded plausible. It sounded plausible, and yeah.
There's one more thing you can do. That is, you can actually add a app.html file in your project root directory, and then there's a template from Nuxt. So app.html file Nuxt. If you search for that, then there should be a link to that. Somewhere. Yes, this is what you can put here.
Right.
Yeah, so you can put here this text. Now here in the head section, you have to keep this part,
Yes.
but above it, you can actually write whatever you want.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand? And this will persist. I mean, this will stay there. But this is not a good practice. I mean, you should not do it this way. You should always use the Nuxt config.js in order to add your CSS and the script tags like that.
It's just that I just watched somewhere, and then I tried it. It looked plausible. I tried it, and every time it worked, and every time I did yarn dev,
it got reset.
Yeah.
But if you do it like this, then it will not reset.
Okay.
It will stay.
But it's not.
It's not the recommended way, but there's no harm to use it. You can use it, no problem.
Okay. When do you think? Have you ever tried using it? No.
Yeah, I have used it in a few projects where I actually had some kind of terrible issue where I had no other way but to use this app.html file.
That was my question. Okay.
Yeah.
You answered it.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you very much. I'll speak to you tomorrow.
Yeah, no problem. You have a great day.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.